What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all so much for joining us here at Chad's Media for another episode of the Tyler Lennon Show. We have some very special guests with us here today, but first we want to say a quick thank you to our supporting sponsors for making all this happen, Avco Roofing, The Beauty Parlor, and Realtor Lindsay Lee. Thank y'all so much. Again, like I said, we have some very special guests here. We have some of my favorite people on earth, a group of people that I've unofficially but officially claimed myself as the official roadie for. It is Dubb and the Luv Machines. What's going on, guys?
It's official.
Is it official?
It's
you can start loading up my drums now, right?
I've tried. If we're being honest, I've tried to help y'all.
That's true. Thanks.
But no, thank y'all so much for coming in. Real quick, for anyone that doesn't know, I want to go around. I want to let y'all introduce yourselves and what it is that you do. So we'll start right here.
Yep, I'm Jacob Mozzok. I'm a lead guitarist for the band.
Are you gonna look at the camera?
No.
I'm Jacob Mozzok, and I'm the lead guitarist for the band, and I party.
He doesn't party. Someone finish the joke.
Yeah. Do you want to go again?
It's for Hot Rod, man. Yeah, I'm Dubb. And these guys make me a love machine.
All right. I'm Colton Smith. I play bass guitar, and I sing really bad harmonies.
No,
That's
you
really
don't.
Jordan.
What about your lead voice?
No, he doesn't. I'm Jordan. I bang on stuff and make loud noises.
Oh my God.
That's a good way to describe that.
But
This is Dubb and the Luv Machines, and for those of you that don't know, I would say that intro is the perfect way to describe them. For anyone that has not seen y'all play, can y'all kind of tell us what it is, that they're missing out on, what to expect from a Dubb and the Luv Machine show?
Well, kind of what our main thing is we cover every genre, or not every genre, most genres, old and new. So we kind of base our show on that, so that way, no matter who's there, someone is going to hear something they enjoy.
Right.
That way we appease everybody.
Yep.
And
we got
try-
stuff for ages 14 through 98.
Well, it's funny, at most of y'all shows, there is people from, especially if you're playing here on the square or something, you do have people from little kids to older people. And like you said, you have something kind of for everybody.
Yeah. That was the goal in starting it because, these guys have been in bands. I've been in bands that you do your own music. Nobody really cares until you're on the radio, right? And so we started doing this because we wanted to have a fun project and things. And it's like, what better way to have fun than include everybody? And so then it started steamrolling into a snowball. It snowballed.
It steamrolled and snowballed.
Yeah.
Is it a snowman yet?
Not yet. We got two more layers.
We need the carrot.
If we could get a...
You're almost at a snowman.
Yeah.
When did y'all get started? And how kind of did this come about, this version of Dubb and Luv Machines?
Well, here comes the divorce fight because none of us can agree on a date of our anniversary. So I'll defer that to Colton.
Well, I came in the latest.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Okay,
Well, we saved the best for last.
I can't remember. I can't remember what year it was, but I'm thinking roughly 2017.
That's right, because prior to that, I was traveling with some other people and some things. You get asked back into some places they don't want you back, and after a couple of those, I said, man, I gotta get some guys that are worse so we don't get asked back to these crowded places. So,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No.
Did
it was
work?
2017. I had moved back from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it was like summer.
2016.
It was like summer 2017.
And we were
this time.
jamming over at Studio 222.
I think so.
And these guys had been on the road with Tyler and the Tribe, except for Jacob. He's got to be home by 9 every night.
9:30.
So we better hurry this.
Yeah, we're taking here. Oh, Pumpkin here. He's going to be. So it just happened. Events happened that we were able to get Colton in on it, and the chemistry that these three guys brought to it it's almost like Jello. Congealed right there, right on the spot.
And can you kind of talk what that early parts of that looked like? Y'all are doing shows or?
I remember doing a couple of stuff. Like, will you please just let us play? We'll do it for free. Let us play. And Sarah Dacus took a chance on us, and so she let us play Celebration Station. And there was a few people before her, but she was the one that really jumped out and said, "Hey, I'm sticking my neck out for you guys. You better not make me look like a fool."
It's funny you mentioned that. Christian Dacus works for us here at Chad's Media, and they mentioned that. She mentioned that y'all are speak very highly of Sarah.
Oh,
so are they
for
related?
sure.
Amazing.
She's been very good to us. Yeah.
Absolutely. She's been very good to us. So 2017, Studio 222.
Mm-hmm.
A few different members
That was before
came
me.
and went. And then
Actually, technically, I think Jordan is the only original member. because at first it was you and a couple other guys.
Sal
And then-
Castro.
Yep.
Jeremy.
Yeah, and then Jordan,
Jeremy
for
Norsworth.
some reason,
Yep.
mentioned to you something about
Yeah.
me.
I don't even know. I don't even
know-
remember how I got asked to come in there.
We're
at
I know how I
we were
did.
at we were at Foster's one night, and you and Jeremy were playing, and you were like, "Hey, come play with
What were y'all
us."
doing at Foster's?
we were out there.
Pizza.
Oh, okay.
I basically forced my way into the band. Essentially, I like swooped in, just like
Colton, you
Well,
do that to everything.
I do it to
The
everything.
friend group that I know you through, you just kind of
I forced
Colton's
myself.
like, hey, I want
Yeah.
in on that. I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
And
We did invite him though. we were like, "Hey, Colton's got to come."
So
in
I'll be
here."
grateful for
But you
that
did
forceful entry because I did not know. Why are you guys doing that? Listen, I did not know he played bass because think about it, I'm 10 years older than,
hand motion.
than these guys here. So Colton to me was the hot girl at school's kid brother. And so I'm like,
Oh, no.
oh yeah. You know, and
Colton
anyway,
needs to be a part of this
and I'm
group.
like,
that's all I knew.
and so anyway, I was like, you do stuff? What do you do? And so he, you know, and I was like, Jordan's like, hey man, you think we could get Colin over here? Because we weren't satisfied with our bass player Sal that didn't show up. And I had to bust him on it because no call, no text, no show. But the day of the show, he's all right. He'll be fine with this. So.
Do we have like Twitter or Facebook info we want to put on the screen for?
No, we won't do it like that. Now, me and Sal are doing a little something together in his project, so I can't wait to just not go. Make him pay for studio time. I'll come back. Hey, yeah, man, about that gig.
You're just going to give him the same
Yeah.
treatment in return?
Oh, even better. He's gonna spend money.
That's amazing.
Well,
All right,
that
I've
is
got a lot of other questions I want to ask y'all, but first, we want to hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with more.
Hi, I'm Audrey Clark, owner and stylist of The Beauty Parlor. We are located at 206 West Shannon Road in Sulphur Springs, Texas. We are Tony and Guy trained, and we specialize in custom cut and color. You're already beautiful. Come let us highlight it.
At Avco Roofing, we strive to fulfill our mission statement of protecting homes, strengthening families, and building community. It's more than a slogan. It's the heartbeat of who we are and how we serve our customers. Located in Sulphur Springs near I-30 and Broadway, there's no project we can't handle. Call Avco Roofing for all your home and commercial property needs.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Lee, realtor at Caldwell Banker Watson Company in Sulphur Springs. Born and raised in Hopkins County, I am the small town realtor you are looking for to help buy or sell your home. I specialize in farm and ranch, residential, and lake properties. Contact me today and let me do the work for you. Get your key with Lindsay Lee.
And we're back. All right, I want to start. Y'all play obviously a ton around here, but I mean, y'all play kind of all over the place. I know the answer might be different for each of you, and based on what you play, it might be different for that reason. But what are some of y'all's favorite venues to play at?
Anything but a wedding.
Anything but a wedding.
Oh, really? Dude, there goes revenue for next year.
No,
Good Lord.
That's all we got.
Y'all heard it here. Anyone having a wedding, they don't want to come do it.
I'm being, a little facetious, but the thing is weddings are kind of like our thing to do, and they're great. Usually it turns out to be, to fun or whatever, but it's one of those things too, to where there's a lot of expectations and a lot of, things have to go perfect, a lot of pressure. You have to, at the end of the day, it usually isn't a big deal. It's one of those things you don't want to be the people to mess up somebody's wedding, which we're
That's
not
fair.
going to.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. It's just in the back of your mind, you're always thinking about that. So
That's fair.
yeah.
I would agree with that. Especially if your phone in the middle of the ceremony because you're playing the music.
That was your phone? For anyone that doesn't know,
It was scripted on purpose. to the deal was everybody's kind of uptight at that wedding, and I was like, yeah, I gotta break the silence a little bit.
That was
Not
amazing.
scripted.
They were performing at a wedding recently. I happened to be there, and as they're like in the middle of the ceremony and everything, the ESPN goes off, and I didn't realize that was actually y'all's doing.
Oh, it was
Oh,
me.
not y'all.
was.
Not y'all.
No, y'all. It was on
Not
me.
y'all.
Jacob Mozzok.
I scripted it. Yep.
It was
So
it was
pe-
it was the
people
best part of the ceremony, if we're being honest.
People actually thought, like, they came up to me and said, was that planned? And I'm like, oh yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
I went along with it. It worked out perfect.
Well, and now for the altar call to his message is, we care too much. That's our problem. That's our biggest problem.
All right, Papa Roach.
we really want to make it a great day for everybody, and these guys prepare well. But there's always, I always tell the bride or whoever hires us, there's always a mess up. if there's not a mess up, it's not a good wedding day. So let's just hope it's not a huge one.
Yeah.
You can count on Jacob for that one, though.
That was a great mess up.
Yeah.
I will say, I've seen y'all play at a ton of places. I always like when y'all are here on the square. I feel like that might be tough as a band, I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's always a lot of fun. And that, again, goes kind of back to the point of you get people from all age groups. And
Yeah.
to me, that's like the best where I get to see a group of people enjoying y'all from, like I said, from super young to older and everything.
Well, speaking of,
Oh, well,
Do you
no,
wanna-
go for it. No, you're good.
I'll
Be
go, there you
together,
go.
rhythm section.
Jordan, I'll get you in at some point, I
Speaking
promise.
of, no,
I'm fine.
As soon as I'm done.
No,
Okay.
it's not important.
No, because no. So
not.
as far as like favorite place, like venues to play, I swear I'm not saying this because they're from here. Like I
Right.
really mean what I'm about to say. I've been blessed to play in quite a few different bands at this point in my life, and a lot of different venues and everything. And even throughout all of the years, I love playing the Texified Festival.
Damn,
Yeah, that's
took
a
my
good one.
answer.
Like
that's a
it's
good one.
so it's hosted right here in Sulphur Springs. Shout out to Todd and Leah Connor.
Yeah, shout out to
They host a music festival here in Sulphur Springs. This year it's actually going to be at their place, but it's called the Texified Jam Fest. And I love playing that. For number one, I love festival atmospheres. I love a festival. I love having that many artists all in one place, all just doing their thing. And literally, I know that this is just little Sulphur Springs, Texas, but Texified is really cool because Todd and them, they literally bring in artists from all over the world. I mean, there are people that I would have never met otherwise. And so I always look forward to that. It's annual. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play it. You know, it hasn't happened the past couple of years because of COVID and all that, but we've had the pleasure and luxury of being on the lineup every year, and Texified is super fun. So I really enjoy that festival. So I would say that for us, that's one of my favorite things that we do. I'm sorry, Jordan.
No, it's fine. What were we talking about? Downtown.
Downtown, yeah.
Your favorite place to play?
Oh, I like that one because I get a workout in because
Where
it's
at?
hot all the time.
Oh, the downtown?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Like
that's
staring into
yeah.
the sun.
The sun is right in your face. Yeah.
It is the
That one's
it's
great.
the- and the metal stage and all the nice like extremely thick plastic drapery that goes around it holds that heat in, and we
Yeah.
are nice at 4 feet.
Feel like
I'm about to say
Like
it
15
looks
pounds,
really nice
just
that
like
way, but
that.
I can see where that definitely.
But the atmosphere is awesome, man.
Oh,
Sulphur,
yeah, it's
Sulphur
great.
Springs downtown, I love playing the square too because downtown is
Yeah.
awesome.
You get to interact with the vendors that are out there, and
Yeah.
you know you get free stuff by saying, "I'll mention your name on the stage if you give me a torta." Or
anyone ever mentioned now, you might get some free stuff.
Yeah.
from Chad.
I'm trying to get a torta.
Speaking of, is there? You probably don't have it off the top of your head, but any upcoming shows y'all want to promote or anything like that?
You know, off the top of my head, there's a few holidays coming up. 4th of July the 2nd.
No, the
4th
third.
of July the
It's
3rd.
the third.
4th of July the 4th. So those are all. If it falls on a weekend, you know, you get 3 4th of July. So. But on the 3rd, we
July.
will.
July 3rd,
Thank you, Colton.
we're at the marina at Lake Cypress. The Cove.
Yes. Yeah, the Cove.
The Cove
Formerly
at
the
Lake
Marina.
Cypress Springs.
And so I hope I'm not speaking out of lies. How does that thing go? Jordan messes up and I learned. But I don't know if the fireworks show is going to be Iron Out there or if it's going to be previous or right on the 4th. But
Gotcha.
anyways, we were scheduled there all except for the last time it's rained or something. And we've missed the fireworks show and we weren't able to play. And I think, what was it, 2 years ago that we hunkered down on a float that hit us and we got on the water and it pushed us out to sea.
I think so.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just
Sounds like a fun night.
But yeah, July 3rd, the Cove at Lake Cypress. If you want to come enjoy some live music for your July 4th weekend, that's the place to be.
That's
It's a cool atmosphere out there too, and it's completely redone.
Hey, and there's something
Give them the
else.
number in the menu.
There's something else on that day too.
that also
Jacob Xbox
is
0703.
Jacob's birthday.
Ooh.
So if you want to come see some live music and
He'll play any song you want.
Yeah, he'll play any song you want. Yep. So he'll play Freebird even. Actually,
Freebird?
he can do Freebird. Yeah.
All right, July 3rd, we're playing Freebird.
At
Yeah.
Lake Cypress. Yep.
Y'all come watch. I think this will be another one. I definitely get a different answer from each of you. But favorite song that y'all play? It might not even be one that you play every single set or anything like that.
man.
But
Favorite song that we play.
because I definitely have favorites that y'all play, and I like accidentally
I know
annoyingly tell y'all over and over again that it's my favorite. But
I know
Jacob,
mine.
you already got yours.
Dub's gonna get pissed because it's probably gonna be his too.
What's your favorite?
Sweet Child of Mine.
Sweet Child.
Oh, that's a good one. Sweet Child of Mine is really fun.
about that?
I
Yeah.
thought she was gonna be your favorite too.
No, it's my favorite to forget the words because you were mesmerizing me with that guitar shredding. I'm gonna gauge.
I know, I
Can I give two or do I have to pick one?
Give as many as you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just hear favorite.
I can't pick. No, look.
The whole set. We want to hear it.
So the whole set. So I have two songs really, they're probably just fun to play for me just because they're songs that I love even if we didn't play them. So when we have a girl with us, which we do a lot of the times, I love playing Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
It's just an all-time great
And
song.
you always go out of your way to give me a shout out before you play.
Every
So I
time. And I do
appreciate
give
that.
Tyler and I are fellow Fleetwood Mac fans, so I always got to give him a shout out. And another one, I swear, and here's the thing, I swear I'm not saying this just because of you.
Is it
It's
Shut
just
Up
a
and
fun-
Dance?
Well, that's a good one, but I love playing September, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah,
It's just a
great.
fun
That was one
song.
of mine.
It's just
It's a great
fun,
song.
man. I love playing September. It just gets me going.
I have a dream that every set y'all add like one more of that type of song, like Earth, Wind, and Fire, or something along those lines. Before you know it, it's just like a
We're working on
groovy.
it.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's
We're
my
working
dream.
on it.
That is my
That's-
dream.
that
as
is
well.
his dream
Oh
for
my
I was gonna
God.
say,
if
and
I
it-
could play
it-
any type of music, it's
Yeah.
funk, Motown,
That'd be
R&B.
amazing.
Yeah, that's
So,
my dream.
I mean, that,
What's yours?
that makes it harder for us because, like, these guys, holding down the rhythm section, incredible. And so it's hard for me. I'm like, man, listen to that. And I'm, where am I at? So, but
You gotta get caught up in it.
Yeah. So if you put our vision all in the same, and it's going, Colts is going this way, Jordan's going that way. Jacob's not going to play anything he can't be perfect on. So we just sometimes get tracks and he pretends. And I just hope and pray that I can get it right. But I don't know my favorite. I guess, and this is a shout out to Prince, it'd probably be either Purple Rain, but I hate to say that one because there's some things you don't cover unless you can do them. And with
Fair.
these guys, we can do it. We can do it.
That's always a showstopper too. I feel like anytime I see y'all play Purple Rain, like everyone like, oh, Purple Rain's happening.
Yeah, as soon as Jacob hits that first chord, like, also everyone knows what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like that B flat minor extended diminished 7 or whatever it is.
Shoot.
That everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, so you hear that and it comes out, and this is the plus, like the icing on the Prince cake is, you got the people that went to the Prince shows to see him do it, and so if you bust it out, it's their favorite song. Well, now here comes all the extra love, and so you're getting private parties and things like that. And, that's one that connects with a lot of people, not just certain.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Jordan, did we ever get an answer for you?
September, you already said that one.
Man, that one's hard for me because
I know you can hit it though.
I know, but it's just I feel like I'm hanging out to dry out there because for whatever reason, our girls with the high voice, Kat, Kristen,
They just want to dance on that one.
they're dancing, looking off into space or something. And,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hey, isn't yours?
You've always got me on the
No.
dance floor trying to help out with the background vocals.
That's
but I
how
don't
you get.
think
Yeah, that's how you get kicked
We
out
don't-
last time. So.
We don't really play this one. I think we played it like once or twice when we first started, but Wagon Wheel by Derek Drummond is my. I love that song.
So if you can't, if you don't feel the layer of sarcasm on there, Wagon Wheel is our Freebird. So
I thought it was
we've
Bon
never
Jovi.
played. No,
Well-
yeah, don't get me started. on
that's
that.
wanted though. But that's the '80s.
I Want You
ladies
Back though is a good one, and we don't.
Ooh,
do that
I
one
Want
enough
You
to
Back.
there.
Yeah.
By
Well, I'm gonna have
Jackson
to say Ain't It
5.
Fun then, because there's a few like I know Colton. He always gets a little embarrassed and red cheeked when I say bass guitar is my thing. I love it. Don't exhale so disgracefully. Now he tunes down to C sharp. For those guys out there that aren't musicians, nobody can do this but Colton. So you tune down to C sharp and you play this bass line that's just moving the whole song.
It's a fun song to
Oh,
play.
it's an incredibly fun song. But it's sang by a female, so he has to go down to Q sharp for me to get on that note. So it's
What song are we talking about?
Ain't It Fun?
Ain't It Fun?
Oh,
Apparently.
I love Ain't
Yeah.
It. That's a
Yeah.
great
Oh
song.
man.
So it's funny that y'all say that because Ain't It Fun and I Want You Back are probably two of like my favorite. They're the funnest bass lines.
Oh, yeah.
Most
Didn't
fun.
mention-
Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
grammar.
Oh, that-
Grammar, please. I'm sorry. Most fun.
Funnest.
I will
Most
say
fun
this
songs.
though.
It's the funnest.
Colt,
Yeah.
I love Ronnie Millsap. Love him. And I would probably say that might be the Desert Island guy like we were talking about before. But Colton showed me something I never heard in the song before. He's a bass player. There's a break in the song before Jacob takes the
That was
spotlight.
Jacob that showed you that.
No, you did. You said, listen to this bass part right here, remember?
That was me.
Stop giving him credit for stuff he don't do.
It's a cool bass part.
Should've
Anyways.
just taken the credit.
Anyways.
So Colton, he was watch out.
It's a cool bass part. Yeah.
Cool bass part. I still think it was Colton. I was only listening to him anyway.
I believe you.
So it just made it that much more interesting, and that's probably my all-time favorite. Stranger in My
Stranger
House.
in My House by
Oh,
Ronnie
yeah.
Millsap. Yeah.
So we had
What about
mentioned.
his wife
I
and
just
kids?
I love how he wrote that story about himself.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, he did.
We had mentioned earlier you had mentioned these two guys, the rhythm section. I hate to single anybody out because like it's very clear y'all are all having a ton of fun and having a ton of fun doing it together, but y'all two specifically have a very visible bromance, and I'm sure it's because you're playing bass, you're playing drums, it's just kind of it goes that way, but y'all have a very clear, very visible bromance, and
No, they're just checking.
I just
my
wanted to
shirt.
mention it. I wanted to bring it up.
Where did
Okay,
that start?
it's funny that you mentioned that.
Who
Okay,
fell in love with who first?
I definitely fell in love with
It's when they were.
Yeah, yeah.
They
No.
both found out that they still.
I remember
both wore
seeing you at the
BVDs.
Walmart parking lot back in the day.
back in the day. It is cool. It's so funny. Like, I'm gonna try to make a long story extremely short because basically, like, me and Jordan like knew who each other were but didn't know who each other were. I only saw him in Walmart. So like, I'd be in Walmart. He'd be in Walmart. He'd be with his friends. I was
Not
I was with
shopping,
mine.
like we just
yeah,
be
we
there.
were
Be
friends,
hanging
and
out.
I would always talk to him.
Back in
Well,
the
we
day,
ended
yeah.
up in the same band together. So Tyler and the Tribe, like we were talking about earlier, we both toured full time in Tyler and the Tribe from 2011 to 2015, and then after that we joined Dubb's band. So me and Jordan have been playing bass and drums together for over 10 years now.
And hey, don't forget the Backroad Bandits.
Backroad Bandits,
now.
that's
Come
true.
on.
Backroad Bandits.
How
There
did
was
we
another
forget
local
such a
band.
forgettable band?
There was another local band before the Tribe. So me and Jordan have been playing. I joke all the time. It's the coolest. All joking aside, it is the coolest thing. I tell this guy all the time. Like, we will not have talked about something at all, and Jordan will do like a drum fill, and I'll do like a bass run that we never talked about that just flows perfectly hand in hand. And I just look at him, I'm like,
It is strange.
what just
It's a little
happened?
weird.
Like,
Y'all don't just
we
look at each other, you
Yeah.
stare into each other's souls for the rest of the song. As
Jacob
the rest
do
of the
that
crowd
too.
wonders, what's going on there?
Well, now you know.
Me
Now
and
we
Jacob
know.
can do that too.
Now, I think y'all have an even better bromance now that I'm seeing it. Y'all are hugging each other over here.
Well, we just
do.
felt a little left out, so we need to comfort.
I apologize.
I'm sorry.
There's
No,
no, I mean,
There's
but this is the way you want your rhythm
more
section.
cerebral.
Ours is cerebral.
What in the
I like that
world?
word.
From two that
Spiritual.
don't have a cerebrum.
Something we had talked about off air. Desert island bands. What would your, for anyone that doesn't,
gosh.
you're on a desert island, you get one band to listen to for the remainder of your life.
Jacob,
These
you
are
said you know
impossible.
yours.
And it doesn't have to be a band. It can
Oh, I'll
be a
go
single
first.
artist or a group. But
Well,
I'll go
I hate
first.
to. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, because I don't want to do this, Colton.
Man, this is tough because, you know, the thing is like there's so many great artists out there.
It
and-
changes every week.
Yeah, like,
Right.
But if I had to say
Florida
one,
Georgia line, I know
if
it.
Yes, no, Luke Bryan. No, if I had to say, you know, because here's the deal. One of my favorite albums of all time is actually a live album, which is Where the Light Is. And so I like to say John
It's a
Mayer
good
is
one.
probably one of like my one
good one.
go-to because, you know, like Jordan said, it changes every week. You know, there's always new artists out there, or there's an older one that like you revisit and it's
Right.
like, man, I haven't heard this in a long time. But John Mayer, just, you know, as a guitar player, like he's, you know, a great songwriter, a great guitar player, great singer, everything. So it's just, that's kind of like my go-to to listen to.
and it
So,
can kind of fit any mood, if we're being honest. If you're chill, if you're whatever,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
he's got something for you.
yeah, for sure. Great musicianship and, you know, just great everything. So yeah, that'd probably be my guess or my pick.
Go ahead. I won't do it. I was gonna
Okay.
say Coldplay, but everybody know that's.
I'm gonna. Well, it's funny that you say that. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I am gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick one, but I'm gonna tell you two and why I pick. Okay.
No, one only.
No, I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick one. So there's probably only like very few artists can you look at their entire catalog and you love the whole catalog. Okay, I probably could name 5 if I wanted to, but there are 2 artists that like their whole catalog. I could listen to every song, every album, and be super content. And those 2 artists are Coldplay and Kings of Leon. Like
Wow.
their whole catalog is just great.
I wasn't expecting either of those.
That's good.
I wouldn't
No, I really
expect
do.
Kings.
I'm talking from their first album to their latest
So
album.
who are you picking?
No, I am. Here's the thing. I think I'm gonna go with, if I had to pick one to go on a desert island, I think I'd have to go with Kings of Leon. Just because
We
like,
had to have a winner here. I don't know if y'all heard that we had side bets going on.
Kings of Leon is just
Man.
I've already said it all. Every album is amazing. The
and-
songwriting's great. The music, like it's just
For you, like the bass lines.
the
too.
bass lines, like
those bass lines. Are
and also I
phenomenal.
resonate with that bass player a little bit. You know,
Absolutely.
like I resonate with their bass player a little bit. They have great bass lines. Great. It's just I love Kings of Leon.
I
man.
figured this would be the case, but you're picking a guitarist. You're picking a band that is
Yeah.
great with the bass. It's
Yeah.
funny how this is kind of unfolding, but
Yeah.
I'm not picking like a drum heavy artist. I think my artist would be kind of like what you're saying, like front to back catalog. Like you just every song, like you're not gonna skip. Like
Yeah.
oh, this song comes on, like okay, sure, I'll listen to it. For me, it's like Prince,
Oh, okay.
and Prince has a massive catalog.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like there's so many songs that you're like you listen back and you're like, oh, I forgot about this one, even though I listened to it like 2 months
With
ago.
his catalog, there
Because
might be songs you're like introducing yourself to. Like, I feel like he's got that big of a
Oh
catalog.
yeah, it's massive, and it's still coming out. Like they're still releasing stuff
Right.
they had never released before. So I feel like if you're stuck on a desert island with Wi-Fi and you can get on Spotify, then you're like, oh, maybe a new Prince album's going to drop out from his family release.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But
You're not tweeting for help. You're just like Spotify.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for the
exactly,
record,
exactly.
Prince
Yeah,
is
it's
not
like-
dead. He just went home. Remember that?
That's
Remember
right.
That's beautiful.
that? Yeah.
Kind of gives me chills.
I'll just answer based on Jordan's answer. The guys I like for musicianship, Corey Wong is a band that Jordan introduced me to.
Are you going to say him?
No, I'm not going to say him, but I want to talk about it because,
say him.
like Prince, and is it the New Revolution? I mean,
Yep.
didn't take time to listen to the band name. I just know Prince on TV. George Clinton, Parliament Funk, those guys, the Funkadelics, and then you got Bootsy Collins with his rubber band, things like that. Bootsy Collins also happens to be a bass player.
Shout out Bootsy Collins.
Man,
Yep.
incredible bands. Like, is it Leon and the band, or do they just call themselves the band anymore? Do y'all know?
Just the band.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
stuff like that. But Kings of Leon, those guys, I'm gonna just ride the same horse as Cole here because I was at the show in Dallas that he had his revelation on stage, and to watch that and to feel connected to him, understanding everything that he'd been through to date to get to where he is, and the obstacles that he faced in his personal life, it was like, it's not that level for us, or we may not even have a problem, but that's the kind of that's why you listen to that music, because
Right.
it reaches you. So probably
That's awesome.
Kings, yeah.
If I have to give an answer, no one was wondering, I might go like Elton John, just going back to like deep catalogs, stuff you could
that's a
listen
good
to
one.
forever.
Oh,
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What you doing over here,
What is he
Muttley?
talking about? I have an Elton John record hanging up in my son's bedroom.
I have one. I have, dude.
Do you have one? Yeah.
Well, I remember, like, it's funny you say Elton John. My mom was a big Elton John fan, and like we would ride in the car all the time, and she would have on Elton John's greatest hits. So like, I grew up listening to that all the time.
See, I
Yeah.
can't relate because Dave Grohl introduced me to Elton John.
Oh, really?
Cameron Crowe.
See, that's
introduced him.
another
Yeah,
one,
there
by
you
the
go.
way.
There you
Foo
go.
Fighters.
Yes, thank you.
I almost wanted Foo Fighters is another
if you could
great
take
catalog.
just Dave Grohl somehow and get
Yeah.
both Foo Fighters and
And
Nirvana, that would
Yeah.
be
and
a
Queens
disclaimer-
Of the, and Queens of the Stone Age.
Disclaimer:
Don't you
all
do
of us
that.
up here would probably say we wanted Foo Fighters is definitely a top tier
Oh, yeah.
option
Top-
there
oh,
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
top
yeah,
four, yeah.
Like,
but I knew y'all love
Yeah,
Foo
yeah.
Fighters, and obviously at a show recently, y'all got to play some of his
Yes.
stuff and everything.
Oh,
That was-
man.
Yep.
That was
That's-
tough because
that's
that was
good
right
stuff.
after Taylor Hawkins passed
Right.
away.
Yeah.
And so, and I feel like they were like a big influence to all of us. Like whether or not we like say like, oh, who's one of your biggest influences? Foo Fighters. Like it might not come out like that, but I feel like that's one of those bands that we've all listened to.
I feel like it comes out when you're
enough
playing.
to where like we might like subconsciously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
something.
But that was
that's
kind of-
something that the Foo Fighters.
That was kind of one of the next things I wanted to get into. I can't keep y'all here all night, but just a couple
You can.
questions
Well, I
left.
brought a cover.
You can if you
I
want.
brought my palette with me.
Oh, so we can keep it
Yeah.
up here all night.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this a
Uh, Again, the answer is probably gonna be different for each of you for different reasons. But like some of your biggest influences, people like you, like I strive to be that, or I've taken pieces of that. Do y'all have any of those? Anyone can.
Man, there's a lot of them. It's just like the artist thing, but I mean, again, John Mayer has been a big influence. But like before that, as when I was growing up, my dad, he still is. He's a big classic rock guy, and so that's what we listened to a lot. And some of the artists that we listened to was like Eric Clapton and Santana and Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. So I guess I've got to give some credit to them, for being an influence because even though at a young age I wasn't necessarily playing guitar, I was still listening, and
Yeah.
it was definitely an influence. So
And in that way, your father becomes a big influence just for
Yeah.
putting you onto that
and
stuff.
so like stuff like that, and of course when I started playing, it was more like John Mayer and a lot of the same guys, and and obviously. Like they said, Foo Fighters have been a big influence. It's not necessarily someone will say, "Oh yeah, we're just trying to," they were a huge influence. But it just by really enjoying their music, they
Yeah.
have been indirectly. And there's a lot of other artists like that. I just can't think of them right now. But I think that's how a lot of musicians are. It's what you typically draw to from music. Whether you try to or not, whatever you listen to is kind of how you, what you learn from.
See, I'm kind of the same way, even in my profession. Obviously, it's different from music, but both as a writer and broadcaster and all this stuff, like the people I find myself reading their work or the people I find myself listening to them do a broadcast or a podcast, like whether you realize it or not, you kind of do find yourself, kind of doing the stuff that they do. I also should have asked y'all
Right.
at what age did y'all really start getting into music for each of you? For you, when was it?
I actually started out playing drums when I was around, my first drum set was like 8 or 9. For some reason, my parents got me one. I don't have no idea. And so I played.
I don't know why they would want to.
Well, they were trying to
Right.
potty train him, and so they
That's
gave
like
him the
the
drum
last
set.
It's like, let's
Yeah.
get him a drum set.
Yeah.
We need to make a beat.
We need this place to be as loud as possible.
Well, we had a storage building, and so like it was.
Let's put him out in the heat.
Yeah, it was hot. So
Smoke
like,
him out.
I didn't want to play it very often, so like yeah. But anyways, yeah, I started playing drums. Played at church. I didn't start playing guitar until like probably sophomore year in high school, and that's when I really started focusing on that more. And really, what's funny is like in middle school and high school, me and this guy over here, me and Jordan, hated each other. So
Rivals.
Like
Rivals.
I wanted to be like a good drummer, and he really was at the time, and he still is. But like I would like get so jealous, like I would
They
try
were
to
competing over first
yeah,
chair.
and so like we hated each other. And so, anyways, obviously we're all good friends now, and we became friends. So like I decided then I'm like, you know what? Like I still play drums now, but like I'm switching to guitar. Like so
I'm going to be a multi-instrumentalist. And
A
he can't be.
multi
We have-
master,
No, I-
Yeah,
master
master
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can stick with those drums.
We have to play.
Hey, can I finish, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Continue.
So, anyways, so I switched to guitar so I could play in a band with this guy over here, and then we started our first band. It was me, Jordan, Colton, and a few
Seth
other guys.
Wellborn and Natty Prudent.
Yep. And so yeah, it just went from there, and now here we are. But yeah, it's crazy how like where you start and where you end up.
Right.
Like you're always learning something. We still are. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody is.
Also, some of our best arguments, and I say best arguments, are over a key or a note in a certain spot, and that's something that I love to listen to,
and Jake.
especially with these guys right here. I'm making the argument sandwich right now because I'll miss the note and they'll know what it was to correct, but then they'll have a disagreement amongst themselves
About what it actually was.
whether
We know it was wrong, but
They just don't know.
we
why.
know it's wrong, but Jacob is sent off, and Colton has perfect pitch. Jacob, he only can strive to relatives. So.
I will admit on camera, in front of everybody,
What note is this?
that Jacob is right most of the time, but I have been right a handful of times.
Oh, those
Oh, yeah.
handfuls.
a handful of times.
Those handfuls are.
But it's
full
usually
victory.
him.
How about me and you have the
What are you talking
romance like them, and you're
Man,
over here.
I got to be loyal to my rhythm section because when they choose not to walk off stage to get a refreshment, we're still holding it down because we're not playing a song with enough guitar in it.
And we got tracks.
And I guess I'll go ahead and answer. Man, this is gonna hit me hard, especially with the ladies out there. Boys to Men is one of my big ones because I heard the harmonies and they were just kids like us when they were starting, and so I thought, man, I could probably do something like that. So you get
I could probably be Boys to Men.
yeah, I know some of these guys are quite a bit younger than me, but
We still know.
we used to have I know that, but we used to have the radio or the stereo system that was, speakers was this big, and there might have been a TV in the middle of it, and so you get down, you get right on, you listen, I can do it right. And so I tell my little brother, hey, listen, it sounds the same, right? It sounds, you suck. And so just trying to copy that helped me go there. But as far as influence and such, there's some guys right here in Sulphur Springs that helped get me to where I am. Like there's Monty. I used to do sound for him quite a bit, and his showmanship on stage is just crazy good. And just to be, I guess, influenced by how you want to be by someone. Craig Roberts. I saw him do what is that thing called?
Great guy.
It's he was MC of something. I know he's done the Dairy Festival, the pageant, and I know we did something for Dare, I think.
It was he was also the host of the virtual gala.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that we
right.
did.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, I mean, he's the mayor of Happyville all the time. You never see that guy going south or anything. So those guys help me even on stage where I'm at to be kind of want to be like that. So.
That's awesome, especially to have people in town or around you that you can actually see in person. Like that's super. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig, I'll be turning that application in on Monday.
So I'll answer both questions really quickly. I started music really late, way later than most people do. I didn't pick up an instrument. I always loved music. I grew up loving music. I never thought I could play, and then I'll shout out someone who's not here. A musician friend of mine that basically forced me to play bass is Heath Robinson. And it wasn't until I was 16. So I was 16 years old when I first started playing music, and I remember specifically it was because everyone around me played all the other instruments. He played guitar, he played drums. Like the only thing that was left was bass. And so I was like, if I'm ever gonna play with these guys,
Right.
I gotta play bass because I'm not gonna. And so he put like stickers. Like I remember he put colored stickers
That's so
like on the
awesome.
fretboard. And he was like, hey man, for this song play the red stickers. For this song play the blue. I was like, okay, I got it. And I'll just play the top string. And I just started with stickers and then just went from there. And like I said, I started pretty late, but I just fell in love with it and have been playing since then. But I'm going to piggyback off the Foo Fighters thing.
Okay.
Because like Jordan said, I'm repeating, so I probably shouldn't do that. But even if we don't admit it, I feel like our style of play, the Foo Fighters influenced that big time. Because I'm going to go on a quick rant.
Do it.
Like,
We got
okay.
time.
We got time, man.
Okay.
Commercial break.
So people say rock and roll is dead, right? And unfortunately, rock and roll used to be the most popular thing. Now it's kind of a niche. I feel like the Foo Fighters are the last remaining worldwide
True rock.
popular rock and roll band. And here's the thing, rock and roll is not just how you play. It's not the music, it's the attitude too. And so like I feel like it's not just like what we play, like the way you play it. You know, if you play it with a rock and roll attitude, it's just like that.
And
there's a difference.
And rock and roll attitude doesn't have to be like negative necessarily.
Not negative,
A lot of
I'm just-
people
it's just-
associate it with like the
Tearing up
drugs.
the-
I don't mean that.
drugs
I'm
and
saying
all that
like
stuff.
just
like
playing with like
an
passion
emotion,
and
an
aggression
emotion.
and just like
Yeah.
and I feel like the Foo Fighters, all of us listening growing up, I feel like the way we play, you know, if we're playing aggressive with passion or just energy is probably a good word. You know,
To your
I
point,
feel like,
also-
natural
I feel like a lot of that comes from bands like them, like the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Also, recently heard
Yeah.
Dave Grohl talking about he was on Deezus and Mero, which are two of my biggest influences in the
Yeah.
world. But he had mentioned he's super influenced by like a lot of funk, a lot of groovy stuff. They did the Bee Gees cover
They did,
album,
yes.
and he
Oh,
mentioned
man.
how a lot
Bee
of
Gees, yeah.
the drummers that he came up listening to were those types
Funk
of drummers. So
drummers.
He
even
did.
even in that sense,
Yeah.
I see where there's some influence there.
Yep.
Do
Yeah.
we have another one of those drum rolls there? There you go.
That-
I mean,
no,
I just gotta
that's
say,
like
man,
what Bob
I'm surprised that. Well, I thought it was gonna be like U2 or something like that. So
No,
that's
man.
awesome. Like,
Dub would have.
Hey,
man,
can
I was getting ready to
I didn't wanna
crap
be
off.
Can I
thrown.
say? Can I say one thing about Colton?
Oh.
Like going back to like the old days. Like
we
so,
go.
so
I'm gonna
we-
tell one too.
So we all, you know, like I said, I started playing drums at church, and like we were in the youth band together, and Colton played bass. Colton is was the most improved musician I've ever seen in my life.
I was terrible.
No, he still is. He's the best.
3 years
Shut
running.
up. He's the
That's
best. No,
literally,
seriously.
literally
He's the
at
best
church,
musician out
like,
of all of us
he
right
was
now.
one of those like at first that was like, oh gosh, like what's gonna happen next?
Wow.
It-
No
it was
shame.
like-
Hit the red dots, not
Yeah,
the green
yeah.
dots.
Yeah.
Are you
So wait,
colorblind?
red dot,
It's
green
not
dot,
that
red
one.
dot.
And like literally like a few years later, it's like he's professional. Like he like next level. I'm like,
This dude will show up to a
Okay.
show
Well,
and won't practice for like 3 months, and he's somehow better than he was at the last
Okay.
show.
he knows.
Hold
his
on,
song.
don't,
Okay.
wait, don't stop turning red just yet. So, I felt like Tomater one night over at Papa Q's house because this guy, with Papa Q, he was telling a story, and if you know, he was telling a story about Colton, and he said, "Man, I gave that kid a song, and it apparently is a pretty difficult bass song." He said he went home and he didn't come back until he had it note for note. And so that's where I know that I made a good choice.
Okay, here's the
And
thing.
my bass player.
I appreciate everything they've said. I will say this: I may be very improved, but I'm just working on becoming a master. And these guys have been masters for a long time.
You're never,
so
you're
that's
never a master.
I'm not a
Yeah.
master of music by any means, but I am
okay.
a
You're
master of
experts
something.
then. You're not a master. You're an
If you,
expert.
if you become a master, then you're bored. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a master. I've done everything I can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You know?
Well.
I feel like you always have to have a challenge.
Thanks, guys.
Jordan.
Am I super red?
Well,
right now?
he's super red, but it's his birthday, so we're giving him this extra love because he deserves it.
It is your birthday today.
Well, it aired a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
You guys are seeing this.
He's
in not
30
real
now.
time.
30.
Dirty 30.
Man.
Well, 30,
Jordan, go
30's
Jordan.
20.
All right.
Jacob's gotta get
shoot.
home.
When did you start playing and influence?
I started playing. I really honestly don't remember. Like, that's always the running joke. It's like, I don't remember life before drums. I really don't. Like, my dad always played drums at
Shoot,
church and gospel band, so he always had a drum set at the house. So as like my earliest memories, I remember there being a drum set like in our game room, and so I'd like just jump on there and just mess around, screw around. Well, he taught me how to keep like a rhythm and do a basic beat and stuff like that, and it's just one of those things like you just kind of like they said, like they're always listening to music, their family's playing music, and so like I would just pick up like, oh, I know that's a drum in the song, I'm gonna try to do that, and so I would just try to mimic what I'm hearing. And so that's how I did it. I didn't have lessons or whatever. So I guess like 4 or 5 is probably, my parents would probably have to tell me. That's whenever I got like behind a drum set.
Right.
Shoot. Don't
And
forget
then,
about church, tearing up everybody's stuff.
Well, hey, honestly, no. Going along with that, like some of my influences were at church, just like watching the Josh Bryson and Josh Pugh, old Pugh.
John Duckworth, man.
John Duckworth. There was a bunch of great drummers at this church I went to, my dad included. It's just like watching those guys, and then after church, I would just get up there and mess around and try to do what they were doing. So that's my influence. And then like musical, like artist or whatever influence. Probably like. I'd say John Bonham, Led Zeppelin is a good one. But really,
Legendary.
honestly, the Beatles, Ringo, I know that's like cliche. Everybody's like, the Beatles is my band. Ringo Starr is like the Beatles were like one of the first secular bands I listened to.
Because I grew up anymore.
Well, maybe it's not anymore.
I
I feel like it
cliche
was
anymore.
at one point. Everybody was like, the Beatles or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost like a hot take at this point.
Yeah.
It's kind of come around full circle.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to like Christian music, which is great, and I still play that, and I'm at church, but that's all I listened to as a kid. I didn't get into secular music until I was like in middle school. So like the Beatles were probably one of the first like secular old rock bands that I listened to, so Ringo.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Guys, thank y'all so much for coming in here. Anything I haven't gotten to that y'all want to touch on, or like I said, we've upcoming shows, anything like that?
Yeah. I'll just say, we'll try to keep our social media updated because we really do appreciate the people that come to show after show, because we're not a radio, but these guys are pretty close, as close as you can get to a human jukebox. We learn it, we try to do different stuff, we try to keep it fresh, but there are some people that come out, they'll drive an hour, 2 hours one way to see, just come hang out with us.
Right.
And
Show.
and that's
Yeah.
the best compliment, or I guess I don't know if you call it like Band-Aids or whatever, but it's awesome to see people show up in Texarkana, or Dallas or wherever. We even saw some people in Vegas just came out, crashed a wedding. So Kurt, Jessica Mayo, they decided to get married. So
That was awesome.
We had some friends come out. They're like, hey, we just thought y'all was gonna be in Vegas. Like, you can't come. They came.
That is awesome. Again, thank y'all so much for coming in today, for real. Like we said, hopefully we can get a little graphic or something for the dates y'all were talking about and everything.
Down
And
here.
Like I said,
Yeah.
if y'all give your individual
Or-
socials and everything, so people can follow that as well.
Social.
Oh shoot.
Any
know.
Facebook, Twitter, we can do that for y'all.
I got LifeLock,
we-
but I don't really want to.
Also, before we
we
get
can
off, I
handle
want to
that.
say something.
Go for it.
Oh Lord.
Are we close to
We got
finishing?
another 30
Yeah.
minutes.
No, okay.
Wow.
All right, I
Tried to have
I just
it.
want to tell everybody. I want to give a shout out to this guy right here. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
Thanks, bro.
Tyler Lennon, listen, Tyler Lennon is the man. All right, we
Talk
always
about our bromance.
yeah
This
okay
is a bromance.
okay.
Right here.
So we talk about this
should
all
be
the time.
the same
Me and
feet.
I gotta let the world know. Okay, me and Tyler talked about this all the time. We were like the friends that I used to see Tyler we'd see every once in a while out and about, but. Even though we didn't know each other that well, every time we saw each other, it was like the night was over. We're hanging out. We're hanging out the whole night. We're gonna have a good time. And now it's just come full circle. And let me tell you, this guy's great at what he does.
Yep.
He's
Thank you.
blessed to do what he does. He works hard at what he does. And this guy is killing it.
Thank
We're
you.
appreciative of him for having us on. And please check out his show, his articles. He just wrote an awesome 2 articles over the Mavericks draft, which is happening tonight.
Yeah.
Actually, which. The article might have changed a little bit since the trade happened, but
it's
hey,
all
that's
for naught now.
hey, that's live.
He's
that's
missing
live.
the draft for us.
Yeah,
I am.
that
Hang out
says
with
a lot.
y'all.
So hey, shout out to Tyler Lennon, dude's the man,
Yeah,
and
appreciate
we
it.
appreciate him very
Thank you
much.
so
Ditto,
much.
ditto.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Ditto.
yeah.
Ditto.
Ditto. No one mentioned Ditto as their desert island.
Who's Ditto?
White Flag?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dido. Ditto?
Ditto.
No, she did.
Yeah.
And I can't
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
She had hits. Early 2000s.
She did.
Is
this our rollout music?
Thank y'all so much for hanging out with
Dear
us tonight.
Tyler, excuse me.
Dubb and the Luv Machines. Again, y'all check them out. Like I said, I'm their official, unofficial, official roadie. They are amazing. Come see them play for real. You will.
Before we go, we're gonna roll out this special gift that we got you as the official. Nobody made it, so we're gonna bestow the title upon you. Official.
Thank you.
Luv Machine.
Ooh.
The Luv
We
Machine.
dubbed the official Luv Machine.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. Y'all
We
are
have to
awesome.
get to our sponsors real quick.
Do you have something you want to say?
Sorry, Chaz Media for losing that account.
Thank y'all for real. And
Thank you.
thank all of y'all for watching. Y'all stay tuned here at Chats Media. We got a ton of great content coming up for the rest of the month that I know you'll want to check out. So y'all stay tuned. We'll see y'all then.